Country Time USA with Dean Kirk. That's right. It is Monday night. And we're resuming countdown on my fancy playlist of May the 8th, 2022. And we got a country song on here that is not getting any airplay. This is a classic country record. It's one of these, it celebrates small town America, and it's straight red, white, and blue. It beer drinking, NASCAR loving, deer hunting, just rustic, small town America. But Friday night football, throw that in there. This would be a perfect tailgating song. Speaking of football, college football games Saturday afternoon before, say, Mississippi State, or particularly in the South, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Alabama, the Georgia Bulldogs. The perfect tailgating song, party song to play on the campus of the university. Have yet to hear it, though, as a tailgating song, but it would be perfect. This one of Y'all by Hardy. That's right, debuting at number 35 on my fancy playlist of May the 8th, 2022. Hardy, his name is Michael Hardy, from Philadelphia, Mississippi. Grew up with a love of listening to music, literature, writing. Wrote his first poem or song when he was in high school. It was, well, about a girl. And later on, he went to Nashville. Early in the 20-teens, he went to Nashville to break into the country music field. But before he did that, he attended the Middle Tennessee State University. He got into a program called Recording Industry Management. Got a degree in songwriting. During that time, he came out with his first EP. He wrote his first EP called Redneck Recipe in 2013. And that drew the attention. Now, this is kind of amazing right here. The EP drew the attention of a person named Dennis McCoskey. He wrote Maniac by Michael Cimbello from Flashdance. That was in 1983. Wrote I Need You by Leanne Rimes. He wrote those two songs, and he signed Hardy to a publishing deal, to his publishing company, which is called Wapski Music. Hardy wrote a song. He either co-wrote or wrote the song. He might have wrote the whole thing, called Up Down. It was covered by Morgan Wallen. That was his first really big success story. And some of the other songs he's came out with, Give Heaven Some Hell. Yeah, that was more of a mainstream song. But the song that really caught my attention by Hardy, Rednecker. Boy, I couldn't believe it, man. It's a fun record. And what's wrong with having a fun record? Now, I know it may be a little too country for some people, and some people may be offended by it. I can understand that, but you gotta, man, it's just funny. It's imaginative. Now, the record Rednecker was written in a cabin in Colorado. Hardy was in the cabin with two other Nashville songwriters, and they were jabbing with each other. They were trading lines, and they were coming up with these funny lines, just making a funny song. And one of the guys said, "I'm more rednecker than you," and it just kind of grew from there. But perhaps inexplicably, the song only climbed to number 23 on the country charts. Rednecker. Classic country record. But on my fancy playlist, guess what? Howdy ho! Got it up to pulled it to number 2 on my fancy playlist of let me angle this so you can see this a little bit clearer. Fancy playlist of June the 23rd, 2019, the summer of 2019, the good old days before the pandemic. And I got that below a high-tech dance record, a BPM. Yeah, I got a mix of songs on here. Got Rednecker up to number 2 on my fancy playlist because it was such a brilliant record. And this record right here, One of Y'all, Redneck could be Rednecker Part 2. I guess you can consider that Rednecker Part 2. Let me read you a few of the lyrics, if I can bring up the lyrics of this record. I love it's very well paced. His singing is well paced. The rhyming is well paced across a steady thumping drum beat. And here we go, quote unquote. It starts off this great hook right here too. One of y'all got some dirt on your dash. One of y'all's drinks your beer too fast. One of y'all's minds on a 9-pound bass that you caught first cast last weekend. One of y'all hates your day shift boss. One of y'all's pissed your girlfriend off. One of y'all's got a truck that she tossed a rock at and made you sleep in. And if you think, and this is when he gets into the chorus right here. See, listen to that rhyme scheme. I can't come up with a word for it. Dadgummit. But anyway, he goes into the chorus. And if you think my twang is the only thing country about me, then, buddy, take a better look. I've been around the county line more than a couple of times, taking pride in this heritage, taking pride in that small town heritage right there. Country Time USA, making it big in Nashville. Hardy. Oh, by the way, quote unquote. I better do that quote unquote thing so I don't get in trouble for that. But anyway, let me pull that off my iPhone real quick. Oh boy. And that's that One of Y'all by Hardy at number 35 on my fantasy playlist. It has not charted as far as I know, but it is on my fantasy playlist. It's Hicks Tape. Hicks Tape. There was Hicks Tape Volume 1, and this is from Hicks Tape Volume 2, this record. But I could not find any pertinent information on this record, One of Y'all, so I had to outsource some biographical history along with the history of probably one of his best records, Rednecker. Although, Give Heaven Some Hell maybe a little bit more mainstream than One of Y'all. But it's just songs like this, the imagination. You see, here's the thing. And I really do appreciate this a lot more now than I did when I was a kid. See, when I was very young, I know I've done this before. Dean, you sound like an old granny. Don't go there, please. Well, I am going to go there. See, when I was real young, growing up in the 60s and 70s, you heard these country top records on the radio, on pop radio. Songs like, I think it's 6 Miles on the Road by Dave Dudley in 63. Detroit City by Bobby Bare, which was later covered by Tom Jones. Tom Jones covered it in 67, and Almost Persuaded. That was a country record, big-time country record. But my goodness, went top 30 on Billboard's Hot 100. I think it went up to number 26. Local top 40 station here in Tuscaloosa, 1230 WTBC was on it. Bottom line, some of these country records crossed over and they were played in pop radio. And if pop radio was just a lot more open now, maybe some of these songs, Rednecker or maybe One of Y'all, might have a chance, at least stand a decent chance. And it's pretty pointless for me to go into the formats and what this record could fit into. Obviously country, but I haven't heard it on a country station. You know, this is going to sound stupid. It's such a funny record. There's a sense of humor. There's a little bit of swagger, a little bit of that macho swagger, and yet it's funny at the same time. It's you taking pride in something and poking fun at it at the same time. It's a country record with a sense of humor, with a laughing tape on it. And I lost my train of thought. Oh, another song that I'm thinking about from back in the day, When You're Hot, You're Hot by Jerry Reed. Amos Wrote Moses by Jerry Reed. Lord, Mr. Ford by Jerry Reed. Well, way back in the day, and this song, see, it just takes me back to that. Sort of. Well, anyway, I can't go into the formats for this record because obviously it's going to be hard to fit in a rocket. Even though this record starts with a stiff drum roll. There's your hook. Boom, 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 boom. A grandeur. Certain grandeur, the way the song starts, it bombastic. And then after the drum roll, here comes a bombastic, arena-sized rock and roll guitar that would make Leonard Skinner proud. Indeed, it would. You see, back in the 70s, this would be considered Southern rock. Played alongside Leonard Skinner. I mean, if Hardy was around back in the 70s doing a song like this, I could see him up on the stage with the Marshall Tucker Band, Leonard Skinner. Maybe Ozark Mountain Daredevil. But here we are, at number 35 on my fantasy playlist. I'm just looking over my notes, see if there's anything that I missed. I probably should have gave more credit to Rhett Atkins. He's on this record along with the Cadillac 3. They're on this record as well. As a matter of fact, he sings some on this record too, Rhett Atkins. And well, here we go. It's a classic, country classic. On my fantasy playlist, One of Y'all by Hardy, debuting at number 35. And guess what? I'm putting it in top 10 on my fantasy playlist. It's going there. Fantasy playlist of May 8th, 2022. It is a buzz pick. One of Y'all by Hardy. Dean Kirk signing off.